Okay, good morning everyone. We're gonna start our first class, the MBA class 561, Entrepreneurship. This class is designed for those of you, either you are in process of starting up your own company. If not, probably can help you out in the future. Okay, any of you think about starting up your own company. So this class is, I would say I'll put it in more practical way instead of theoretical. Okay. The way to conduct this class, I will give you a lot of opportunity for discussion, for presentation. Alright, so as you see, we only have, other than today, we only have 5 schedules for this whole semester. And I need to remind you, I changed my schedule a little bit since the last time I posted my syllabus on the YouLearn. The main thing is I changed the schedule only one time in October. And due to my personal, I need to attend my annual lawyer meeting. You know, we have a state bar conference every year in October. I need to fulfill my continuing education. So I only arrange one time in October. Instead of I add one time right before the Thanksgiving. So I think for this year Thanksgiving is kind of late, right? It's November 28th. If I'm right, just double check that for me. So I add one more time right before the Thanksgiving weekend. So hopefully it's right. I need to schedule this, very carefully because my class schedule, I intentionally I schedule my class on the other Saturday from the regular schedule from the school. Try to avoid the parking problem and the traffic problem and the space availability problem. So that's why I can only schedule my class every other Saturday. I cannot have my class back to back in 2 consecutive Saturday. So that's the reason why. Also, I don't want to add too late because this is the second week of the December already. If 2 weeks away, this is almost like a new year. So this is the best I can arrange. In order to fulfill the regular minimum meeting class. All right. So I want to just remind you. For this class, because we will have a lot of very heavy duty in class presentation and in class discussion. I like the size, for this class. I want to keep this as small as possible because I would like to give you, each of you, sufficient opportunity to come out here to present your case. And also, even you are sitting there, I want you to post your questions to the person who is presenting the case in the classroom. So I try not to give you homework because you've done homework already, For each of your presentation in class, that is your homework already. So I try to minimize because I know this is not your only one class you're taking right now. So I try to balance, your burden, your workload, for the whole semester. So the format is probably today is the only one class I will give you the lecture. Okay, and in the following 5 sessions, I will give you a very minimum lecture, very minimum instruction. And for each class, I will expect you come out here to present your case. I will give you the different topics to talk about that. So for example, 2 weeks from today, each of you come out here. You can spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you want, but hopefully not less than 10 minutes, okay? I want each of you to pick up one new company. So do not give me the Twitter, do not give me the Facebook. You give me the one new company you're aware of in Silicon Valley, in this area. And better off, you are the only one and it's very new, and it's such new that nobody else really know about it. And you just give us one new company, new enterprise, new business is going on, okay? Better off is not industry. So don't give me the green energy. So do not give me the industry. Give me one specific company you are aware of, and this company is moving on, is ongoing, is doing something. Okay, more like 5 years ago we talk about Twitter. Okay, more about 7 years, 8 years ago we talk about Facebook. So think about any new company, new enterprise in this area. Okay, and then you present your case. I want you to present number one, the name of the company. Number two, what kind of business model. Okay, what kind of business model. We'll talk about the business model a little bit. Okay, so in your presentation I want you to talk about the business. So the new business, new business or newer business in this area. So you give us number one, name, you know about that, type of business, what type of the business, and C, briefly talk about business model. B, we talk about roughly the current team, member. You need to do a little bit research, okay? So probably this is your own business, I don't care. But more likely this is somebody else's business. It's your friends, or not even your friends, but you heard about the news from cocktail party, from the conversation with somebody else. Then you do research. I think right now in this age, everything almost they're open. Okay, so the team member, and then roughly the sales, current sales. If they have any goal.
How young the company should be?
Well, as I say, better off you are the person, only one you know about this company, and it's kind of new. So I expect if you present this case to your classmate and people sitting there, you say, wow. I never heard about this. And I really appreciate you give us this information. So I don't care about how old the company is. So but if it is too old, everybody knows it. So so it's kind of not that old, and then you are the one first. Hopefully, you are the person introduced this company to your classmate. That's my idea. So for this class, I hope we can exchange our idea and to help each other. Okay, to help each other, and of course, the final goal is after we spend 6 meetings. After this whole semester, we get a little bit better idea. The better idea than today. So I just assume you work in this class. Our common goal is to learn something, and they will help us to start our own company or our own business. Not necessarily corporation, but we're going to talk about that, because I believe I allocate one session. We're going to talk about what time the business organization you're going to choose, and what is the pro and con you choose between individual, sole proprietorship versus partnership versus corporation. And in corporation you can choose either S corporation or C corporation, and versus limited liability company, LLC. And finally, probably versus a non-profit organization, tax exempt. For some reason, you want to start out a non-profit corporation. So I believe I dedicate one session. We're going to talk about that. Okay. So again, the goal for this class is after we spend our time for this whole semester, I hope we can learn something, and in the future, and probably we can put it in the work. All right. So we talk about the business, okay? But I also want you to spend the time, because you have 10 minutes to 15 minutes. All right? I want you to talk about your the competitor. Their competitor. So for the reason why I want to bring this up is even relate to yourself, okay? When you start out your company, I believe you got idea. I don't believe everybody start your company just for fun, okay? I don't think so. In order to run your own business, I think you have one idea, common idea in your mind. That's you want to create a profit. I don't really believe people start out their company just for hobby, just for fun. And they open house today and they close tomorrow. Well, I saw these people on the market, but you don't want to follow them, right? And I don't believe you are such people. These people, they just open out the business today just for fun. And they have a lot of money they can burn. And they don't care, they close out tomorrow. But I don't believe that is our goal, all right? I believe our goal is not only just open out your business, not only that, you want to keep your business. You want to operate your business. And I believe you want to keep your business in the long run. At least you want to put your business. Hey Mariana, how are you?
Good.
What happened? I want to say hello to your hand. You just fell down or fell off or
I punched.
you have a boxing on Saturday night. Wow.
I hit on something.
Wow. Okay. It's not that serious, right? Hopefully.
Break up.
Right. But the good thing I can tell you, okay, we don't have homework to do. So you don't need to type.
I can.
But you need to do the research though, so you need to. All right. Yeah. I was talking, so. Yeah, I need you to put your. This is like the last semester. Yeah, for me to follow up. Okay, back to here. For next week, each of you need to prepare. So, as I say, the reason why I don't want to put homework because for each session, I assign you a lot of work already. Even though you don't need to turn it in, but your result, we're gonna see it. You're gonna come here to do your presentation. And hopefully you can use your PowerPoint, your slide, whatever you want. Okay, you can do the animate. Okay, whatever you think that is good chance you can impress your classmate. So when you come up here to do your presentation, not just turn your homework, not just like Miranda. So not just to turn your homework out. It's more like a very formal presentation. You just treat your classmate sitting here like your potential investor in the future. You want to present your case to somebody else. So for example, in the future, you really want to impress your investor. Of course, this is one part of your presentation. Right now, today, just pretend this company is your company, even though it's not. All right? We use somebody else's company as one example. Right? You want to do the research, talk about the competitor, talk about the business environment. Why this company, what is the market, what is the potential for this new company? Why? Because I do believe when people start out the new company, they found out some problem on the current market. They sense, they feel some kind of this, they just don't like the current situation. Some kind of something missing on the market. All right. So you need to find out what's the strength, what's the opportunity, what's the potential for the new company. However, in the meantime, you need to see any competitor. Competitor really mean who is the player on the current market. Who is the player this new company try to compete with? This new company try to replace. Okay, this is the first sense was competitor. The second sense is any other new player coming in the same market. All right, and the third layer okay, is what will be the newer competitor come in to replace this new company. All right, so you have three dimensions you need to analysis. One is the current player on the market. Okay, who are the company, the new business try to replace for, and second layer, who are those the competitor in the meantime, try to compete with this new company. The third, those companies not even existing yet, but what would be the potential new competitor coming in for this market? All right, and then we need to talk about the regulation. Any regulation govern this type of business. Okay, because I believe in Silicon Valley, our people more focus on technology. We may focus on the market, like the competitor, but don't forget, okay, it doesn't matter how advanced your technology is and how potential the market is, but if there is a regulation and just limit your expansion, which limit your ability to do your business, you just do nothing. You are doing nothing. As I say, it doesn't matter how advanced your technology will be. So you need to do the research, any kind of regulation. We talk about more domestic, okay, federal, state regulation. And you need to do the research, any kind of regulation, limit your business for expansion in the future. And then we talk about, because for this first assignment, everything is existing. You can do research. It is not imagination. Everything you can, you can find out the answer from your research. So I don't believe this too hard. You spend your time, and your presentations are like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. And do the research, what kind of the investor this company is approaching right now. You can find out all different kind of news, financial news, technology news. You can find out, for this company. So you need to only find out one company. Okay, as I said, do not give me the industry. Don't give me the industry. Give me try to identify one specific company. All right. So you have so many things you can talk about that. All right, just go ahead.
How do we identify investors?
Investor mean
invest?
who is funding to this company. So investor could be very broad. You borrow the money from a family, so your parents is your investor. And in Silicon Valley, we more interested in like venture capital, right? So venture capital is another big source, right? But for small business, just very brand new business, probably it's very tough to get approach to the joint venture, and then any other thing from a friend, from your association, whatsoever. But I believe, as I said, this is the true, the real identity on the market right now. So you don't need to make out your story. Everything you just put out, the fact from your research. You just give us the story, more like the news report, right? Go ahead.
For sales, you may not be able to find.
Yeah, that's another thing. For the brand new company, usually we don't have the sales, but how about the product? Talk about product. Or say, how about when we talk about the business model, we're talking about the product. And sometimes we don't even have the product. But how about just the idea? And if there's only the idea, then how about the target customer? What is the target? What kind of market? And so if there's no sales, then we just talk about the business model. right? So this is one way. We're talking about what include in business model. This is a big thing. Eventually, for those of you, I believe very few of you, okay, you are going to take the capstone, in order to graduate from this program. And business model, that's the main thing for your capstone course. So we just briefly touch that point, but we will not spend too much time. You will focus on the business model and also business plan. For your capstone, you need to write out your business plan, complete whole set this thing. But for this class, we just touch that briefly, a little bit, all right? And I do not require the formal written report from you for this class, but it's a good opportunity for you to learn, to practice. So by the time you are taking your capstone class, will make your life a lot easier, a lot easier. Okay. So any questions so far? So do not make up the story. Okay, you need to present the real one, and everybody we can verify online. During your presentation, everybody can sit in there and get research online. So do not make out your story. This is not the writing class. This is not the novel. So you are not writing the fiction story. You do the research. So you need to come up with a real company, okay? And to answer your questions, how old, how new the company, I don't care. Better off is kind of new, and you are the person introduce this company to a classmate and give us the surprise.
I don't have my business, and now I don't have an idea about any of my friend has a business. So
Then you go online.
So I can go online to search.
Yes, you say any new company in Silicon Valley,
Okay.
any tomorrow star, yeah, you can find it.
So is it, it's not considered new if it's already got press clippings?
That's fine.
Still okay, still?
Yeah, when I say new, it's not really new, okay? It's not like it's just born yesterday, When I say new, it says by definition new is you are one of the very certain people know about this company, and not too many people, be aware of. So I would say just give us a surprise, But the bottom line is you must give us a real company. Do not make up. So as Peter said, you don't know any friend of yours, is doing the new business right now. I don't care. I don't limit this to your friend, to your family, to your own business. I'm talking about this the company in Silicon Valley. So I think thousands, thousands, multiple thousands.
Yeah, so in that case, I have an idea for you, just for anybody. Look for in the trade journals, like eventually.
Yeah, trade journal, right.
So it's not mainstream yet. But
Yes.
they have some little things.
Right. So, did you get the idea? I think the main thing is I don't want you to dig out your own story, okay? Open up your mind, because we need to find out what's going on in Silicon Valley, right? For this class, we need to know what happened right now, what happened on the market right now before we think of our own business. If you enter into the market, everybody's been there already, I believe you waste your time. You waste your energy. Yeah. Hopefully you don't waste your money. Don't lose your money. Because again, this is the first class of entrepreneurship. Before we start our business, think about this. It's risky, right? And I believe only less 1 of 10 new business can survive. I believe that is a very close number, very, very close to the true number, okay? Less than 1 out of the 10 new business may survive. When we say Twitter, probably Twitter is one example, 1 out of 1 million. If I'm not that exaggerate, okay? When they say, the brand new, the great news Twitter, when IPO is a great news, these days, everybody talk about Twitter. But Twitter maybe only is 1 of the 1 million, the similar company, almost in the same time. So, it's not that exaggerate. So this class, 1 of this class, I just don't want to give you look at the bright side. Sometimes we need to look at the dark side. Okay, we need to be careful. This is the dark side for the new business. Eventually, the dark side is a majority. All right, the dark side of the moon is majority. And for people, we only see the bright side. We only saw Twitter. And we don't see the other, 999 and 1,000 new company, they just fail off. And we not even heard about it. We're not even hear about it, So the reason why for the second class, I want you, eventually from today, I want you to do your research before we start our new business. And this become your pattern in the future. Okay, even though right now you don't have any idea, you don't have any plan to start out your own company, but in the future you feel really do so. But think about this: what was going on the market? What was going on the market? And when you pick out this company, okay, if okay, you have any idea to open out your company, if that is really the case, I hope you pick out the company related to your business. And for those of you who don't have any idea to start out your own company recently, then you pick out whatever you want. I don't care. But if you're sitting here and in your mind you say, okay, in the next 6 months, next year, I want to do something, then something already been in your mind already, and I hope you pick out the company related to your business. And probably you can follow up. You can simulate, you can do something. All right, so everybody got clear? So, what's going on for the next 2 weeks for this class? So that's the major reason why I will not give you the homework, because I know this assignment is big enough, heavy enough. We may have one in classroom midterm. Maybe it's on the November 23rd, maybe. The reason why I want to maintain one classroom midterm, because I hope I can push my student really do something other than the homework. All right, because most of you know I try to give you everybody A, but you need to prove you deserve. Okay, you need to prove it. And once in a while you absent from the class. This is understandable. Okay, for my class I have a video. I have a very complete video posted on the YouTube. And if you really want to review it, it's a very good tool, because I know, because even I learn right now, even I'm teaching, but I still learning right now. I know when you're sitting here, you miss 70%. It doesn't matter how hard you want to follow up, okay? how much you're paying your attention to, but you miss 70%. So once in a while, you need to go back to learn something. You need to see what we're talking about, when we talk about competitor, what are we talking about? When this person, standing there to do presentation, what's this person talking about? So this is why I want to maintain my video, and I don't care how many video, because YouTube is for free, right? Why not just use it, right? Why not? So everything right now, the high tech is so convenient, it's free, right? So hopefully you got idea, right? You got idea what are you going to do for the following 2 weeks. And your presentation, I hope, is between 10 to 15 minutes. All right? Hopefully you cover everything here. So when we talk about business, any problem so far? I believe my assignment is way reasonable. And the whole thing is for something. It's not for something, because after this presentation, generally speaking, from the market, then each class will go deeper and deeper. And I want you to do your own presentation. So even just like Peter said, you don't have any idea, you want to do anything, but if that's really your case, I want you to make out your case. For this class, you need to bring out the true case. But later on, I want you to bring in your own case. So for example, for the third class, the third session, I want you to come out to do your own business presentation and give us idea what kind of business model you're gonna be. You talk about your business model, okay, and then finally probably you can do your final presentation. All right, this is the whole idea about the whole class. Any input, any suggestion right now? I think it's reasonable, right?
So this is going to be the 28th.
On the 28th. On the 28th.
What kind of midterm do you think about?
Midterm is more like 30 minutes essay. Essays. I may give you one situation. I say I just give you totally one example. It's not really close to your midterm. Okay. Say for example, I will say, I will give one story. Okay. In this scenario, if you want to organize your management team, and you have one position, you have 5 positions to fill in. You have a CEO, you have a CFO, you have a secretary, you have a COO, and you have whatsoever, you need a legal counsel. You have 5 positions you need to fill in to your legal team. And then how would you pick out your candidate from the interview? So I give you 30 minutes. So you need to write it down the criteria for each position. Or I may give you more detail. So for the midterm, for this class, okay, I will give you the very lifelike. Okay, you want to do something. Say for example, if you want to go to IPO, what kind of thing you need to prepare? Okay, that kind of thing. And also, if you want to interview with investor, and what kind of investor is suitable for your business or for this business. All right. So it's like a 30 minutes essay, all right, to answer one lifelike situation. Yes. Any other questions? Where is my sign paper? Thanks a lot. And for your textbook, it's on the book here. Okay. It's high-tech startup company. It's a very fun book to read. You know, even you don't read it as a textbook. I think a lot of information. And for this class, I will try to use this book as a textbook. It's as I say, okay. How much you pay for it?
How much?
Few dollars, right?
I don't know.
I try to limit my the cost for my
It's like $5 or $3.
$6.
Around that.
You could
I
shipping.
already
You got it.
ordered it.
You got it. Okay, you ordered it already. I think it's still
It's
still
good.
available.
Yes.
This is not very new one, but but it's practical.
It's before the .com crash. It's 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I can get the update one.
6.6.
Yeah, but I did not find out the newer version. Is
This
there
is the newest version. 2000.
2000 one?
Yeah. So it's just before the .com.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
I don't know why, we're in the high tech area, but this is not really high tech, So it's a modern 30 years ago. Nobody updated. I don't know why, because this one should be a very hot topic, So, well, this is your opportunity to write a new book, right? So if there's only like 2000 version, why don't you just write another, 2015 version? It's a big, big opportunity for you, Who knows? And if you want to keep another business law as a reference book, you can go ahead and do it, because I may use that book for the spring semester. Usually I offer the business law usually in the following semester. So you use the business law book as your reference book, because when we talk about a lot of business law related issues like organization, what kind of business you want to choose, and that is a very good book. And you don't waste your money because you purchase right now, so you can use that next semester. Okay. And again, for those of you coming late, I changed the schedule a little bit. Since the last time I posted the original syllabus on the e-learning, I only have one class in October, so we don't have class on the October 12th. I set it up October 12th, but later on I found out I need to go to my continuing education for my SABA annual conference. Instead of I add one new one in November, so we still make it out for the total 6 sessions. So just make sure, okay? I will announce this again when we get close. Okay, this is the book we're gonna use. Okay, let's talk about startup company. Let me get the idea from you. Okay. This is a very small size class. I like it because I really prefer. I can conduct my class more like sharing, your idea, more like a discussion, your idea, and make it more practical. Okay. Let's talk about the pro and con. We get a comparison between you start out your company versus you work for a big company for the whole life and waiting for pension after you're retired. So there are two different formats for your whole life. Okay, this is your lifestyle. Okay, so let's talk about this. Even though maybe you have your idea, such idea already, you want to start your company, you are not doing yet, or you are doing right now, or you never thought about that, or you just very conservative, or you just satisfied. You say, I'm so satisfied with my current position, I just want to doing my job until my retire. Okay, so each of you give me the idea, give everybody's idea. Which would prefer? There's no limit, okay? So let's talk about the comparison between startup and doing for somebody else for the whole life. We just want to secure.
So when you have your own startup company, you have a high potential of return.
You want to talk about pro or con right now? Which one you talk about? Good or bad? You want to talk about?
Let's talk about pro then.
Pro, okay, sure. Right.
For pro, for a startup your own company, it's have a high potential return.
Okay, we talk about return.
So,
Return in sense of financial or achievement or whatsoever. What do you mean define the return?
it could be both. In financial wise, high
Okay.
return in the future, not necessarily guaranteed, but
All right.
possible. And also, as a personal achievement or satisfaction, I did something big.
All right.
And also, it's in the sense of freedom, you'll be your own boss. You want to do whatever you want to do. It's not
Okay.
listen to somebody else, but you
Okay.
always listen to somebody else. Is the best.
Okay.
In the sense, though, you can do your own job. You'll be your own boss.
Okay.
You probably have a more control. Well, same thing as more control of your free time, in a
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
But if you work for a corporation, you don't have to worry about what's going to be next. Do I have customer? Do I have guaranteed income?
Yeah.
May not be as, but in the short term, you may have the income maybe better than your startup.
Yeah.
But long term, you may not have this huge spike. Depends on if you go into a startup company, just like
Okay.
I have a friend, he just joined the company for 5 years. He's talking about retirement. Sometimes could be good too. And-
Freedom, achievement, financial, yes. Mariano, I wanted to hear your idea because I think before we talk about the topic here, startup, but another alternative, you just work for one very secure, very stable job for whole life and waiting for your retirement. This is another very good choice, maybe for somebody else. So before we go into, because for the whole semester we will focus on startup. We will leave the employment away, behind. We will not talk about that issue anymore for this class. But I know for the majority of us, we're still working for somebody else, right? In reality, majority of us, we still choose to work for somebody else. We still choose to stay in the employment, to stay in the job market. So at least right now, we spend a little bit time. Let's talk about what's the pro and con you want to start up your company, and let's get a little bit idea. Why not just stay in the job market, stay there for whole life? Yeah, Mariano.
Well, I think when you start your own company, you're gonna be really busy. Because
You mean you are really
you're gonna
busy
be really busy.
for your own
At the
company?
beginning.
Oh, at the
because
beginning, all right.
You have to make sure everything is on track.
Sure, of course.
Probably you don't have enough time to manage everything. So, like James said, in the long run, you will have probably better income or more time for yourself because you can manage, you're your own boss. But at the beginning, I believe you have to be more than 100% available for
Right.
the company.
Right. So you are talking about what kind of thing you need to be aware of. You know? So at the beginning,
And any, I think any startup, you have to be more than 100%. Like, if something come up, you have to be there
yeah.
because at the beginning you don't have enough employees or personnel that cover that.
Right. So it's kind of a little bit contradict. In order to pursue of your freedom, in the long run, you need to sacrifice your freedom
Like,
at the beginning.
At the beginning.
Right. In order to spend more time with your family in the long run, but you need to sacrifice your time with your family at the beginning.
I think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs stick with their jobs and doing their
Side job, right.
Side job because they can be 100% sometimes, so
That's
they
correct.
can sacrifice all the time for their own business, and they want a secure check,
That's correct.
and that's why.
That's correct.
why.
Well, by the way, since this is a very small size of the class, so one of my goal is you need to know each other. Okay, at least you know each one name. Okay, so we have Peter. So we want to Peter, right?
Yeah.
We have Peter. We have Mark. We have Mark. We have James, right? We have Relic. Right? We have Relic. We have Mariana. We have Daniel. We have Dyson. Okay, so everybody you know each other. Okay, so
What's his name?
RALIC, Relic, Relic,
Yeah.
Relic. So you know this because this if for the large size I do not recommend because we need to spend too much time to recognize each other. But since we have a very small size, so when we discuss or better off, you can refer to each other. So we have Peter, we have Relic, we have Mariana. We know each other. Okay, so this is one of my goal. And hopefully in the future we become a business partner. Hopefully, and don't forget me. Okay, give me a job. Okay, okay, that's fine. What else? What else? Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Compared to
Dyson, okay.
Yes,
Dyson.
Dyson. My name is Dyson. Compared to start up the company, I think that most are the smart guys. They graduate from school. They have the very clear idea about their product. But the pro how people work in the big company. People can work at the big company and learn how those other people do the business, and that is good for the most people. Like me, I don't have the clear idea when I graduated from school how I work in the this semiconductor. I work in semiconductor, and I learn from there. I better and better. It's clear. It's good for me.
So your idea is for those people who like to start out their own company, you think it's very, very beneficial for those people to work for the big company
Oh,
with the such experience. You think that at least such experience will gonna help,
yes.
right? Because for the young people just graduate from school, maybe they don't have very, very clear idea what kind of product or what kind of